Hey everybody, this is Shawn at Shawn's Fish Room. Today we're going to do a video in conjunction with Trevor O'Shea at the Wonder of Cichlids. As you may know, I've made several trips to Boston to help Trevor do jobs at his fish room, and one of the jobs we've done in the last few trips is put contact paper on his aquariums. And what that does is that when it gets wet, it doesn't peel off, it doesn't have any issues, it stays nice and sturdy to the back of the tank. So it's something you don't have to worry about water getting behind it and lifting it. We've used interior latex paint in the past. It looks good for 1 to 2 years. Water will get underneath the trim and start leaking. As you know, it starts sagging in the back and always looks kind of bad. So me and Trevor tried to think about what we could do or what we could use to make it look better. And we came up with self-adhesive contact paper. He'll have a link for where he gets it on Amazon down below. And so what we'll do is I'm going to show you what we do to put the contact paper on. Things you're going to need will be a spray bottle, like Johnson's baby shampoo, a couple razor blades, and then just some paper towels and a pair of scissors to cut the contact paper. So what we'll do is we'll show you how I go through and apply it. It's really simple. It's not that hard. It just takes time, a little bit of practice. It's an old window tinner's trick. You put a few drops of baby shampoo into your water, your spray bottle, you shake it up real good, and then use a few mist sprays, cover the paper so you can set on the glass and apply it to the glass and squeeze it out. And I use like my driver's license. So it's stuff that you can do fairly cheap. Spray bottles, a couple bucks. The baby soap, you can buy a travel size for less than $1. So that will work out great. Let me show you how we do this. So here you can see I got just a cheap bottle of baby shampoo. It's about $2. The spray bottle itself is about $1.50. At the dollar store or Walmart, stuff like that, your local hardware place will have both of these things. And what we'll do is we'll just take and put a few drops of baby soap into our thing here. That's plenty. You just need enough to help get the contact paper so it's not sticking to it while you're squirting it. And we'll fill this up. And we'll shake it real good. Alright, should be ready. Now the good thing about this is we could also use this soap and water solution to help clean the tank before we put the contact paper on. Okay, one of the things I like to do whenever I do this is I like to lay the tank flat on its back. And the reason I do that, it just makes it a whole lot easier to work with the vinyl and get my measurements and stuff. I don't really use a tape measure and all that stuff. It takes a little bit longer. So what we'll do is we'll just take and lay this on its back. Slide it up. Then we'll take the contact paper. If you look on the back, you can see it has lines and grids, so that makes it really easy to cut it. Now the stuff that Trevor gets is typically 18 inches. This stuff is 24, but I like the color better. It'll match close to what I already have in there. So here's what we'll do is we'll take this. As you can see, this edge right here is black. So all we gotta do is get our contact paper to that edge, close to that edge there, and it'll hide behind the back, and I'll just take and roll this out and then find a line that'll work. So you can see I've got a line here, and it comes all the way through, and I can just follow it back to here, then just cut it there. Alright, same thing. Once I get that set, I'll get it close to the top where I want it. You gotta leave yourself just a little bit of room to get it on there. The same thing, I'll find a line that works, the closest line. I got a line right here, and I'll say just above that, all the way down through there, so it'll fit. This is where you gotta really kind of watch what you're doing and try and follow the line. So the stuff that Trevor gets is typically 18 inches and fits from the trim to trim really, really close. I can just trim it as I go. This way is a little bit different because it's a different contact paper. It's actually 24 inches wide. All right, now that's cut. So now what you do is make sure that your piece is going to fit. I've got room side to side, and I've got room top to bottom. So all we have to do now is peel the back of the contact paper back just a little bit. Get a hold of the edge here. This is usually the hardest part. Come on. Just peel it back a little bit. Try not to get any creases in it while you're going. Alright, so then as you're going, you'll take your soap, okay, and just spray it on the back. You can put quite a bit on there. It all comes out, it doesn't hurt anything. So we'll do that. Pull it back. This happens from time to time, it's not a big deal. Pull that off. There we go. I'll give Trevor credit for this one. He's the one that figured all this out. He actually bought the contact paper, then he asked me if I could find a way to put it on there. And at first, we couldn't think of a good way to do it. His mother-in-law was actually supposed to help him do it, and we found out that that wasn't going to work. So I remembered this trick. All right, so now we got the paper wet. We'll do the same thing. We'll go ahead and get the tank wet. And just a nice little coat there. And so now what you want to do is you want to make sure and get this to line up just like that. You put it down. You see you could actually move it around. It lays nice and flat. And see, I like to make sure it's closer to the bottom because the top you typically can't see it. The bottom you can. Your water line will usually hide the top, so we got a really good fit there. Now all you gotta do, got my driver's license here. All right, once you're happy with where it lays, both edges are good, the margins are good, it'll hide behind that. You just take your driver's license or squeegee or whatever, and you see this, the water comes out of the end. You see how nice and flat that lays? Now you just do this again, just keep running over it. Water comes out every time. Bubbles come out. See water coming out of there? Good to go. And we'll kind of let this just go real time so you can see how long this actually takes. It's not very bad, is it? It goes pretty quick. The same thing here, you just pull it back. Now we did some for Trevor with black, it was a black leather finish. And at first we were kind of giving his wife a little bit of a jab about it being too textured. And it actually turned out really, really nice. And then the next day, once it dried, all the air bubbles and stuff were out of it. Because at first we were kind of worried that it would be kind of hazy and dirty looking. I'm sure y'all have seen the videos that Trevor's posted here lately in his fish room with his new fish with the new black backgrounds. Turned out awesome. So, and what you do is just kind of run this a couple different ways, trying to get as many of the air bubbles out as you can. You can see this has a little bit of a texture to it as well. There are some that are completely flat, completely smooth. And see there, you can, I don't know if you'll see it on video, but there's a bubble right there. That's why you keep going over. See where it pushes out, see the water come out? There's some more. The more of these you can get out, the longer that will last and hold up better. So, and then another trick, once you get this done, you can put tip the tank back, and you can look at it on the inside and see if there's any air bubbles, stuff like that. All right, and there you go. That's the back done. We'll get some paper towels so we wipe it off so we can get a good look at it, see if we see any air bubbles or anything. The last time I was at Trevor's, I think I had to do 14 tanks, I think it was. Yep, and as you can see, once you wipe it off, if you look around, see right there is a little air bubble. So we want to work it out. There, see it pop up, go out. The water come out there, there you go. All right, now we'll tip this back up. Get on the side. Slide it forward. And now you can see just how nice that looks in there. Man, it really nice and flat. You look around, see if you see anything. If you do, good chance to push it out. You know, because you look through it, and see stuff, and as you see it, you can get it out of there. If you see any air bubbles, and even like the next day, you can still get them out of there. So it's not a problem. Usually within about 24 hours, all the water will dry out of the back of it, and it'll be good to go. I also like to do the sides, so if you want, bear with me. We'll do the sides as well. Do it real quick. Just show you how long it takes for one tank. We'll do kind of the same thing here. I think this is pretty well square either way. So what we'll do is we'll just pull this out. Same thing. Now I'll have to show you here. You see these lines? That's the silicone sticking out, and so we can't put it onto that. Same thing back here. So what we have to do is we have to cut it just shy of that. And once you put water in there, you can't see it anyway, so it's not really an issue. So what we'll do is we'll get close to there, pull it come down, and you can see this line here. So I can say just past that line a little bit and cut it straight down. That should work. So what I'll do is I'll just take and notch it where I want it. Right there. I'll bring it over to the table. Again, now you can see that line basically goes all the way across there. You just got to use your imagination a little bit on parts of it, and just try and stay in the same place all the way across there. Try and cut it straight as you can. There we go. Go back over. We'll take and wipe this side off real quick. Make sure it's good and clean. And this baby shampoo works really good for cleaning the tanks as well, so that's another positive to having it. It's also safe if you get any on the inside. It's not gonna hurt anything. Wipe it off real good. Nice and clean. All right, so again, what we'll do is go ahead and just mist the outside, get it wet. They can pull the paper off this one. Again, that's usually one of the hardest things to get started. And up in Boston, it was windy when we were doing it, so that made it fun too. And make sure and get it wet before it falls over on itself, because then you may not ever get it back apart. Like I said, you can't put too much soap water on there, so don't worry about that. All right, so now, I forgot to cut it for height, but that's okay. We'll show you a different way to do this. Right, so now you got this on here. Get it to lay down. And pull it up to the top where you want it. Get it set. Stay there. Where did I put my license? Off camera, my brother had it. Stole it. He tends to do that sometimes. Trying to make me look like a fool. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead now and just run over the sides. See the water coming out of it? Oh, don't do that. Push it down. Just get it close to the bottom. Come up. And now I got my handy dandy utility knife, and what we'll do is you just use your knife to go across the bottom trim. Start it in there. Just go with the trim all the way across it. Pulls off. Make sure it gets pushed down on the inside. Alright, there we go. I believe that's down. Now I won't bore you with the other side. It's exactly the same thing. I mean, this side took 3 minutes maybe, if that. It went really well. And he can show you from that side kind of what it looks like. really nice. And then once you get in the fish room, of course, you won't be able to see the transparency is bad, but get it against the other tanks, it'll look good. The best thing about it, water can get on the backside now, and it's not going to hurt anything. It's not going to sag, it's not going to peel, it's not going to fall off, or any of that stuff. So, all right, and there we go, guys. The whole tank is done. Now you can see it turned out really nice. Good clean lines. That's what I really like about this more than painting, is the lines across the top and the bottom, man. They're just straight, and it looks so good. And this color will definitely look better with the fish in it versus the black tanks I have in there. And so that'll be the next step that I have to go through, is start breaking a couple of tanks down. What we'll do is just do one at a time. We'll take this tank, replace one of the black ones, peel the paint off, put the vinyl on, replace the next tank, just move on down the line. I've got 10 tanks to do that way, and every one of these tanks I plan on doing with the same vinyl. Like I said, Trevor has a good link for Amazon. I'm sure he'll post it below. That way you can look it up. And I appreciate you guys following along with me. We've had a lot of people asking how we've done this, and so this is just our way to try and pass it on to other people. Share the information, because that's how we all get better and do this stuff. You know, this isn't something that we invented. This is something we figured out for ourselves after, you know, seeing some other things that were done. Kind of trial and error. At first, we tried to put it on without any spray, which was just really bad idea. You lay it on there, it would stick. You couldn't move it, and then it would just wad up. We actually wasted a few runs of 6-foot paper trying to figure it out before, like, oh yeah, I remember back we used to tint windows, you could use baby spray or baby stroke. So that's what we did. I hope you found this video interesting, and let us know in the comments and stuff like that what you guys think, if this will help you along or not, because, you know, that's mainly what we're wanting to do here, is pass information on to other hobbyists and make it easier for them in the future. So if you like it, give it a big thumbs up, like it, give either me or Trevor a like, subscribe, and y'all have a good evening. Thank you.